All right, welcome back to Car Radio. You're on 910 AM, the Superstation. I'm Henry Payne. A note on our previous segment there, we were talking to Jason Vines, who used to be the communications chief for Chrysler and Ford, and wrote a fascinating book about his accounts in the industry called What Did Jesus Drive? And in particular on the merger subject that we were talking about, the passages on Renault-Nissan are fascinating. It gives you an inside look what it's like when you get culture clashes like the Japanese and French cultures in the Nissan-Renault merger. Really worth your while. What Did Jesus Drive by Jason Vines. All right, we're going to talk about next fall in Detroit again here, this segment. We have our good friend Tom Zielinski of Z Performance on the line, and Tom is going to be running Detroit 4Fest, which is going to be next September 25 through 26. Tom, how are you?
Henry, it's always awesome to be on with you. Thank you so much. Great to be on 10 Superstation again, and wow, I'm following Jason Vines. That's pretty cool stuff. I didn't realize he was going to be on right in front of me, but he's a luminary in the industry.
He is, and he has seen a lot. When you're in the room with Dieter Zetsche for the Daimler Chrysler merger, or when you're over in Japan with Carlos Ghosn helping to negotiate the Nissan Renault merger, you got a lot of stories, and he tells a great story.
He has a couple old Iacocca stories as well, and one time shared some of those. We happened to be together, and he was sharing some of those. In any case, it's great to be on with you. Thank you so much.
Well, Tom, tell us about Detroit 4Fest. We were talking earlier in the program with Tim Hartke, who has just firmed up a schedule for the American Speed Festival at M1. We got the Detroit Auto Show folks are going to be putting on Motor Bella also at M1 a week before that. And sandwiched right in between the two is one of the greatest off-road shows in the country, right up there at Hollyoaks, Detroit 4Fest.
Yeah, it's hard to believe how much cool stuff is coming to the Motor City, and we're really excited about 2021. Obviously, 2020 was a difficult year for everybody. We still had an awesome 4Fest event. Came off really good and had lots and lots of fun and a fantastic turnout, even with all of the COVID protocols that we had to put in place. And although Rod Alberts and the team and all of us didn't talk about this, we probably couldn't have scripted a more awesome set of circumstances for anybody that likes motorized stuff through that time. And Detroit 4Fest probably is a little bit different than some of these other events in the sense that it's a big driving experience where people can bring their own off-road vehicle, whether that's a Jeep or a vintage off-road vehicle or a side-by-side, and have fun, and at the same time get the opportunity to drive a bunch of the new vehicles that the automakers are bringing out. And it's a really exciting time for the adventure lifestyle, which was a big boom in 2020 because everybody wanted to get outside.
Yeah, and this is coming right into the manufacturer's wheelhouse. The production market, of course, craves SUVs. And when you talk about SUV performance, you talk about off-roading. And so, lo and behold, you have Jeep doing more variations of the Jeep Wrangler than ever, introducing a hybrid 4xe version. You have Ford getting into off-roading with both feet with the Ford Bronco, the Ford Bronco Sport. So, yeah, it's not just your traditional off-roaders, but you guys got serious product coming into the market that folks are going to want to show off.
Well, and it's really unique in that sense that Detroit 4Fest happens to fit all of that. I wish I could tell you that I was smart enough to see all of this stuff on the forefront when we started to develop 4Fest years and years ago. But the fact of the matter is, it is the focus of many of the major automakers at this moment. And as a result, it happens to fall directly in line with this outdoor adventure lifestyle. And in that sense, 2020 brought some terrible things with the pandemic and all, but it also got people outside. And there's a lot of good that came out of that, so we try to focus on the good. And that adventure lifestyle fits directly into off-roading and mountain biking and motorcycle use and all these things that fit so well with the off-road crowd and SUVs and pickup trucks. And for 2021, we're expanding from Detroit 4Fest. Last year, as you know, Henry, we had Texas 4Fest also, and we're taking that a couple of steps further this year, and we have one in Minnesota and one in Idaho. But we're bringing more of an emphasis even on power sports than we have in the past, where people will be able to come see the latest side-by-side vehicles, some adventure motorcycles, some snowmobiling stuff, and so a big push just with the whole adventure lifestyle.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff. I'm a lifetime on-track guy. I've raced tiny little sports cars forever. It's really exciting to have M1 Concourse in this metro area, but one of the great developments of 2020 was getting Hollyoaks Off-Road Vehicle Park online, and this is an extraordinary place. I mean, for folks who have never been to a West Coast off-road park with all the elevation that California brings, for folks who have just done kind of small off-roading here on flat land, swampy stuff, this is the real deal. I mean, this is I think it's got, 300 feet of elevation change. I mean, this is, I'm an on-track guy, but I love going off-road at Hollyoaks. It's a tremendous facility.
I don't know, Henry. You are a track guy and all, but you seem to handle yourself pretty well. We've been out there at the park, and I don't know, you seem to do pretty well. So I think you've got a big future in this off-road thing, and we're looking forward to more of that. In fact, to that end, Henry, maybe we can recruit you for 4Fest next year. One of our big pushes this year is to offer instruction to people who, like you just described, maybe they've been up north, maybe they've been down a couple of the 2 tracks, some dirt roads, that kind of thing, but they really are kind of uncertain how to operate their off-road vehicle, whatever that might be. And I can't tell you how many people we've seen come out with their new Jeep, super cool, right? And they're looking at it going, okay, I know this thing is very capable. How do I drive it? Well, that's going to be one of our big pushes. Last year, between Detroit 4Fest and Texas 4Fest, we instructed over 300 people, and we think it's going to be much bigger than that this year, and we're really looking forward to it. There's nothing more fun than watching somebody's face light up when they realize all the cool stuff they can do.
Yeah, I love that idea. Yeah, I love off-roading. These vehicles are so capable. I think that's a good idea. I should sign up for a course up there at Detroit 4Fest. So that's a big part of what you do. You instruct, you show people how to use vehicles in this facility. Tell us other ways that folks can get into this event.
Well, the great thing is, so for 21, we're hoping, and obviously we developed a very specific COVID protocol for the 2020 event, which is how we pulled it off. That protocol is now being used for a number of other events with our great partner MedNext. But for 21, we think things are going to be substantially relaxed. And we think by using our protocols, we're going to be able to bring in a lot more people and let them experience this thing. So for those that don't register their own vehicle, the day is going to be free. We're going to open up the doors. Literally, we don't have a door, but we've got gates, and open up the gates and let people come in, and they'll have an opportunity to come demonstrate drive stuff. They're going to be able to see all the cool vehicles. In the past, Jeep has brought some really cool stuff last year. This burgeoning battle in the off-road space that you and I have talked about with Ford. Ford brought the Bronco out. We think that that's a wonderful thing, and it's just going to bring more and more interest into the off-road space. And Henry, as you're well aware, Jeep is not going to just sit back on its laurels and rest on its long heritage. They've got some really cool stuff coming. You brought up 4xe. perhaps I'm not even supposed to say this out loud, but I did have an opportunity to drive one out at the park a couple of weeks ago, and that's going to be really fun. So there's going to be something for everybody, and we're going to open up the gates and make it free to those that don't have a vehicle registered and let them come on in.
Yeah, I love the head-to-head idea that the Bronco is going to come out, hit showroom floors next summer. So Detroit 4Fest, I think, is going to be fun, but a real smackdown between Wrangler and the Challenger Bronco. I think you guys are going to have some fun with that out there. I think you had 600, almost 700 vehicles this fall. When those vehicles come out, do you get some pretty serious time trials going on around the track, or is most of it just concentrated off-roading? What sort of variety do you have out there?
Well, it's a huge variety, and like I said, what we really try to embrace is some people that are kind of new to this, and make them feel welcome. Bring them in so that they see how much fun this is and all the camaraderie that goes along with it. But I will tell you, some of the machinery that shows up with big horsepower. Last year we had some Ultra 4s out there, and this year some of our vendors really had some stuff lined up. Don't want to spill all the beans just yet, but there's some really cool stuff that's going to be out there. And one of the neatest aspects of that is we've got some big support from some very large companies, and I'm going to let them make their own announcements. But there's going to be a see it, try it, buy it, and install it on site feature for those that are in the mood to put some cool new gear on their vehicle, and we think that's going to be a lot of fun as well. And so people can come out, enjoy a fun day of barbecue and all kinds of stuff, grab some cool off-road stuff, and do some real tests of not just their vehicle but their own skill set, because there is literally, as you've seen, Henry, you've been out there a good bit, there is literally some stuff that will test any piece of machinery that somebody might have.
Yeah, it's a really serious off-road place, and one of the places that people are going to love. And I should mention, Tom, that for folks who just want to come out and spectate, it's free. So, no big $40 ticket bills. I mean, this is available to people can come free into the gate and watch all of this take place. There's a hill there where you guys recreate some of the great off-road experiences from Moab. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, let's give Magna a lot of credit for their support on that. It's called Mount Magna, and literally the park's been able to create some of the most iconic obstacles, Rocker Knocker, and certainly Hot Tub, which you got to come see. And these are some of the most iconic obstacles, and they are an exact recreation of those, done in shotcrete with slippery spots and vertical spots. The entrance to Hell's Revenge, all of it is something that you cannot experience anywhere else aside from taking that big trip out to Utah and driving out there. So here we are, right here in the Motor City, adjacent to I-75, just minutes away from so many people, and they can come out and experience a lot of this stuff, in addition to the dozens and dozens and dozens of other trails that are perhaps a bit more beginner-friendly. And so, like we were talking about, there's really an offering for everybody, from extreme rock crawling to just getting your feet wet and experiencing some fun trail riding and climbing.
Yeah, Tom, I got to ask you too, because you do a lot of off-roading. I know you've been in the new Bronco. How do you like it?
Oh, it's an excellent machine. Anybody that underestimated that is incorrect. And I think one of the greatest things about this whole situation right now is the fact that Jeep is upping its game at the same time that Ford is bringing out the Bronco, and the consumer And us folks that love this adventure life and off-roading stand to benefit in every possible respect because there's better stuff coming down the pipe all the time. You mentioned Jeep with the new Hemi 392 and 4xe and lots of other new products. And with Bronco in the mix, it's kind of like the old muscle car days with dirt, rocks, and hills thrown in for good measure.
Yeah, sounds like a good time for Detroit 4 Fest.
Couldn't ask for better timing, and so we're just really excited about 21, and it's kind of funny. One of my guys made an excellent sort of tagline and said, "We're going to have fun in 21," and that really sums it up pretty nicely. We think that this is going to be an outstanding period here in September with what the great folks at M1 had going. And we know that you're going to be able to go see some really cool machinery there. The American Speed Festival the following weekend is, of course, an incredible event. Anybody that loves gearhead stuff is going to be an enthusiast with that. And then take some people out in the Holly Oaks ORV Park for Detroit 4 Fest and have an off-road experience. It's pretty exciting times.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and all this just 30 miles apart up in Oakland County. Well, Tom, it's just January, but we look forward to talking to you more over the year about Detroit 4 Fest and other stuff. Wish you a great weekend.
Henry, thank you so much, as always, and I'll look forward to seeing you out at the park at some point real soon and dare you to climb something else this time.
Sounds great. All right, yeah, thanks, Tom. That's Tom Zielinski of Z Performance. They are putting on Detroit 4 Fest, and you'll be hearing a lot more about that on this show in the months ahead.